Hey, what's up, y'all, man? Y'all know who this is, man. This C Bizzle. I've been away for a minute, you know what I'm saying, taking care of some personal things, trying to get things straight. But I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna make vids for a lot of other events that happened or whatnot in the past couple of weeks. But I want to make this video about a fascinating man, fucking documentary that I watched last night with my old lady, man, called Mermaids: The Body Found, and it was on the Discovery Channel. Now, what I did was I DVR'd the shit. So when I DVR something, like usually like a documentary or a sporting event or a TV show, if I DVR'd it, like, let's say for instance it came on at 9 o'clock. I'll go and watch it at about maybe 9:45, 10 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go back and watch it then, so that way I can fast forward the commercials and shit. So I think this shit came on at 9, so I started watching maybe about 9:35, 9:40 or some shit. Me and my old lady, we sitting back watching it. You know what I'm saying? The house was quiet. Uh, my kids was at the grandparents' house this weekend. Um, so the house was quiet, man. I sat back, rolled me up a nice joint, and started watching this shit, man. And it was like I said, man, it was fascinating, man. I'm watching this shit. I'm like, damn, dude. Now, before I talk about what the documentary was about, man, if you haven't seen this shit, man, please go find it. Go back and watch it. If you can DVR it or find out when it comes on. It came on the Discovery Channel. It's called Mermaids: The Body Found. I strongly recommend y'all go see this shit. You know what I'm saying? It, I mean, it had me glued to my motherfucking seat, man. For real, I can't even lie. I'm watching this shit like, wow, this shit here is fucking fascinating. But um, it was about basically these three researchers or whatever. They went and investigated this massive whale beaching or whatever. All these whales were starting to beach themselves or whatnot, and they went to go, you know what I mean, test the whales out, get some tissue sample, things of that nature. But when they got to the location, like the Navy had already beaten them there or whatnot. The helicopters flying over and all this shit here, and they had some shit like blocked off, and they was observing something over there, but they had it blocked off where they couldn't see it. So they walked past them like, huh, that's strange. Really didn't pay them too much attention. They said at first, but they noticed them like, okay, what the fuck y'all doing here? Okay, but they just thought they was, you know what I'm saying, testing or taking some tissue sample or some shit from a whale they sell. So they went out there and took their own tissue sample and, you know what I'm saying, did their thing, whatever. And there was these three little boys that was there earlier, and they took a cell phone video camera and made a little video of when they first got there, shit. Or would I get into that at the end of the video? But they had a little video that they made when they first got there, or whatnot, about what they discovered and what they saw. And this was in 2004. So to make a long story short, they now know that those massive whale beachings that we all hear about and all that, that's the government or the Navy or the Army or whatever doing these sonar experiments with these high frequency sounds that's making these whales and dolphins and whatever go fucking crazy. The ones that talk by sonar or whatnot, you know what I mean, echo sonar or whatever you want to call it. Animals that speak that way, it's making them go crazy, and I guess it's fucking killing them from the inside. It's giving them these lesions inside their skin and brain and all this shit here, and they was bleeding outside of their ears and all this shit. But they now know it's from them. They got some type of weapon or some shit that they test underwater, and it's killing these motherfucking whales or whatnot. So these whales started washing up on shore, but something else was washing up with these motherfucking whales. You know what I'm saying? And they discovered all these little bits and pieces. Like they went over to Africa, and somebody said they caught a big ass great white shark or some shit. But they pulled out something. They cut something out of the shark's belly or some shit. They took it to the lab, and dissected the shit and went over and cleaned it off, and it looked it peculiar. I mean, it looked it real strange and shit, man. They found these spears and shit. They would find fish and real fish in. They would find spears and shit like a man-made type of spear. You know what I'm saying? As they was reeling the fish in, like something attacked the fucking fish as they was reeling that shit in or whatnot, or had it in the net or whatnot. And the shit was crazy, man. It was like I said, the fucking documentary, man. That shit was fascinating. It had me glued to my seat, man. I can't even lie. I love shit like that, man. Cryptozoology, sci-fi type shit. That's my shit, though. But yeah, man. This shit was fucking crazy, man. And they say Africa, like through the whole documentary, basically, my fiance, man, she was telling me like, do you believe this shit? What do you think this real? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It could. We don't know what the fuck is at the bottom of that ocean, man. For real, we don't. We've only explored what 10% of the ocean, I think, or some shit like that, man. We don't know what the fuck out there, really. You know, and the infamous bloop sound. That's what they think the bloop sound was. Well, basically, they saying it was a perfect match because they found this creature, or whatever they call it, a mermaid or whatnot, that they found. And they saying that mermaid or these mermaids are responsible for the infamous bloop sound. Some of you may have heard of this, some of you may have not. But it was a sound that was recorded a couple years ago, and they were saying that it was the most massive, like, sonar sound from an animal that they ever heard in recorded history or whatever. And they thought it was huge, you know what I'm saying, because the sound was so great. But turns out it's probably these so-called mermaids or whatever they say they found or whatnot. But I'm watching this documentary, man, and the strange thing, man, I'm waiting for the DNA. I told my girl, man, I'm like, I just want to see what the DNA test is, man. That's all I want to see. I want to hear about, and I'm guessing that they're going to reveal these DNA tests or whatever, the results at the end of this goddamn documentary. So I'm just basically waiting for that, you know, and all the rest of this shit, because it's just basically filler. You know what I'm saying? So, as they conducting their tests and they doing all this shit to it, they putting the pieces together, they finding out that this damn thing had a fucking hip. You know what I'm saying? They actually had hands and all this shit here, and they telling their story. Then they say the African government or whatever came and seized all their shit and took all their shit or whatnot. I'm like, oh man, here we go. Fuck, dude. Y'all gave all that great story, man, about all this shit. And then they come take all this shit here and all this. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Don't start this shit here, man, because you had me going with this great ass documentary. Now y'all with this bullshit basically saying, okay, we have nothing now. Yeah, y'all, okay, that was a great story, but no motherfucking evidence, man. Come on, man. But they still had their sonar that was a perfect match for the bloop sound or whatnot. So they said they still had that. You know, so that was pretty significant. You know what I'm saying? At least they still had that. So they played that, you know what I'm saying? And I mentioned earlier in the video those two boys that showed up early with a camera phone, and they did a little video when they first got there. And they had that, and the Navy or the Army or whatever didn't know this. So they played this little video camera or video recording on the cell phone at the end of this documentary. So they play this goddamn video, man, and it's like, this shit's fucking CG to me, man. I'm like, oh no, man, this y'all fucking it up with this shit now, man. Oh my goodness, dude. This documentary, man, had me glued to my seat. I'm looking at this shit like, wow, man, there's some cool ass shit here. And I'm pretty sure that it's something out there that or something that the motherfucking that the Army or the Navy or the government, it's something that they got them retrieved out there, goddamn it. I mean, come on, man. It's something going on. They always trying to hide some shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we talking about the sea. This ain't land, y'all. This the sea that we're talking about here. I think we've only explored 10% of that shit, maybe even less. It might be 1% if I'm not mistaken, but I know it ain't no higher than 10%. I mean, that's more than 90%, dude, of the sea that's uncharted, man. That man hasn't explored. So we don't know what the fuck is at the bottom of that shit, really. But they played this video that these two boys had, and the shit, man, is CG, man. This fucking mermaid or whatever pops up, and I'm gonna play the shit right here, I'm gonna give y'all the sound of the shit or whatever. Let me play it real quick.
What's the difference between Elliot and the junior style?
The little boy poking it with a stick or whatever. Then he looked back at his homeboy, then looked back at the little mermaid shit or whatever that was covered up in seaweed or something. And the shit pops up. He looked.
The first time I watched the video,
he looked at the damn mermaid. And it's like, you can tell when he first look at it, man. When I rewind the shit back, dude, when he first look at the damn mermaid, he don't look right at the damn thing. Then his reaction was kind of fluky. And it's like, man, that shit CGI, man. That shit ain't real, man. Y'all with that bullshit, man. Damn, dude. But all in all, man, it was a good ass documentary, though. It really was. They fucked it up with that video at the end with this damn mermaid, supposedly mermaid popping up and shit. Talking about it was real footage and all this shit, man. That shit was CG, man. For real, that shit. You can just tell from the boy's reaction, dude, the way he reacted. It was just, he didn't look right directly at this goddamn thing and jump back. And he looked kind of off to the right a little bit. Then he adjusted himself a little bit more when he jumped back, and it's like, oh, come on, y'all. But like I said, it was a fascinating documentary, man. They were saying that that these mermaids or whatever, man, they communicate through sonar or whatever, and they talk to the whales and dolphins and shit. And in a lot of parts of the world, man, we do work together with like dolphins and shit, man. There's certain parts of the world, man, where these fishermen, what the dolphins will do, the dolphins will actually fucking, and these like little village, I forgot where it's at, these little villages or whatever, they work together with the fucking dolphins. The dolphins will come in, like when salmon come in or whatever, or some type of fish, tuna or whatever the hell it is, a group of them will come in a certain time of year. The dolphins will chase them to the shoreline and have the villagers come out with their nets and shit, and they will throw their nets or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? They'll trap the dolphins as well in the nets, but the dolphins, they don't panic, they just stay calm. They know that the humans are gonna let them out of the nets or whatnot, so they pull the nets in tighter and they let the dolphins out. All the dolphins get up out the net. They keep the fish, you know what I'm saying? The dolphins wait in the shallows to be rewarded, dude. You know what I'm saying? The villagers will throw the dolphins some free fish, you know what I'm saying, for helping them and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, dog, that's neat as fuck, man. Wow. But like I said, that's a good ass documentary, man. I'm telling y'all, man, go watch this shit. I don't know, judge for yourself, man. The video, like I said, that shit looked CGI to me, man, for real. It really did. But overall, man, it was a good ass documentary. I can't even lie, man. This C Bizzle, man, and I'm out, man.